What you're looking at behind me is one of the most heavily guarded and biggest prisons on the planet. This massive facility can hold up to 40,000 inmates inside, are some of the most dangerous individuals you could ever picture. How many lives have you taken? Was it 5 or maybe 10 or even more than 50 MS-13, along with numerous other gangs? These are not normal humans. They are brutal. They are psychopaths, sociopaths, the type of offenders kept within these walls. We are about to witness the core of the core. Welcome to CECOT, the largest prison in the world by capacity, located in El Salvador, built to lock away the most notorious criminals. Anyone sent here is never expected to walk out alive. Escape is impossible. How would anyone survive this? The reason this small nation of 6 million people requires such a huge prison is because gangs once controlled the country. Those groups were hit with an intense crackdown. Beginning in March 2022, under President Nayib Bukele's government, more than 70,000 people, nearly 2% of the adult population, were detained. In only 16 months, buses moved thousands of captured gang members to CECOT during a carefully planned overnight operation. Lined up shoulder to shoulder, heads down, they appeared as one massive group, surrounded by heavily armed guards. Not a single one dared to disobey orders. Their lives were transformed in a single day. In this documentary, we will speak to one of them, among the most feared gang leaders, known by the name CECOT. You have just 10 minutes only. 10 minutes completed in 2022. This enormous prison consists of 8 individual units spread across 4 acres of terrain. Every 2 units are sealed off by dual walls standing 3 meters tall, topped with razor wire. The whole complex is encircled by a massive 9-meter wall combined with a 3-meter electric fence charged with 15,000 volts, 19 guard towers. Make sure nothing goes unseen. The entire structure is designed. It doesn't merely stop escape, it wipes out the thought of it entirely. Hello, we have clearance from the presidency. The soldiers have halted us, and we hope this is the final checkpoint. Signal jammers shut down all communication within a 2-kilometer radius of CECOT, completely isolating the area. More than 600 soldiers are assigned solely to protect the outer perimeter. Before entering the prison, we must leave all personal items behind. We are allowed to bring only our cameras and microphones. Nothing else. Move forward slowly. Look into the camera. The body scan. Wait, I forgot to remove my wedding ring. That also has to be placed over there. This high-powered X-ray scanner can even reveal bones and internal organs. It is mainly used to inspect new arrivals, making sure no one attempts to smuggle any prohibited items on their bodies before entry. Inmates previously swallowed objects or tried hiding items like SIM or micro SD cards, tiny microchips, and even phone chargers after that. These gangs have deep networks and countless connections, which is why officers must keep their identities hidden. Why aren't you wearing a mask? I need to speak to them directly, face to face, and look them in the eyes. They already know exactly who I am. We are now inside the registration room, an area restricted strictly to inmates. When criminals are arrested on the streets, they usually carry no identification and often give false names. For that reason, their fingerprints and photos are recorded here to register them into the system. Once they are officially processed into CECOT, prisoners are completely cut off from their families forever, since family visits are completely banned. It's also important to mention that during the massive crackdown, a small number of innocent people were wrongly detained because of the zero contact rules. Their families don't know where they are, or even if they're still alive. For some, this documentary might be the first time they catch a glimpse of a missing family member before moving into the housing blocks where inmates are held. We first stop at the prison armory. This area is kept ready at all times in case riots break out, because these prisoners are among the most dangerous individuals on the planet. The main weapon issued is a T-65 rifle comparable to an M16. We also use a 12-gauge shotgun and a shorter rifle that allows movement in extremely tight spaces. When suspects are arrested and loaded onto buses, different restraints, cuffs, and chains are applied to limit movement and reduce danger to officers. Has there ever been a riot so far? There have been 0 escape attempts. We are holding the worst members of criminal organizations here riot. Equipment includes helmets, face shields, neck guards, anti-trauma vests, leg and shin protection, and of course shields inside. Prisons inmates often create improvised weapons like blades or sharp tools. Officers are fully Protected, as you can see, even their feet are covered. Due to the enormous size of this prison, we now board a bus to move forward. We are entering the module zone to keep the nation secure, supported by 1,000 staff members working inside. CECOT, it is unthinkable. But let's imagine for a moment that an inmate somehow makes it out of this fortress. The stones you see here were placed deliberately. When someone steps on them, they create noise, acting like a natural alarm system, making it impossible to move silently. Have there been escape attempts? No. And trying would be extremely difficult because anyone would have to pass through multiple layers of security. CECOT was constructed with its own independent infrastructure in a remote location, including its own power, supply, and sewage systems to eliminate any outside interference. In the event of a power outage or disruption to the water supply, these systems and generators can keep everything running for up to an entire week. I'm feeling the adrenaline. We are about to come face with some of the most dangerous criminals on Earth, the 2,500 inmates, it feels like, standing in the heart of controlled chaos. The tension is unreal. Every eye is fixed on me, tracking each movement, making direct eye contact with them. There are so many of them. I'm left speechless. I can't help but feel overwhelmed. They are all dressed the same white shirts, white shorts, and slippers with no personal belongings. Most of them are barely in their early 20s, yet convicted of extremely serious crimes. Even history's most notorious criminals average 20 to 30 confirmed victims. But here's some inmates are responsible for the deaths of hundreds of innocent people. Can I ask the prisoners a question? No, if you have questions, I can answer them for you. If they attempt to speak to me, what will you do? I won't allow it. They already know that. Failure to follow instructions will result in punishment. I'm curious which of these gang leaders I'll be interviewing. It's forbidden to cross this yellow line because these are among the most dangerous humans alive without the bars separating us. Everyone knows exactly what could happen. Each of the 8 modules contains 32 cells. Every cell houses about 80 inmates, though it can reach up to 150 even without. And occasionally media like us. They will never ever leave this structure. When you look into their faces, you can see emptiness, no hope for the future. Their expressions are robotic, their lives painfully repetitive. This open corner is the toilet area, just 2 toilets shared by 80 inmates. It's deeply degrading. The same space is also used for bathing. They clean themselves using plastic dippers and a single shared basin. There is no running water inside the cells, so prisoners depend on one blue barrel for drinking water. Where they sleep are metal bunk beds. No pillows, no mattresses. Each inmate is given only the bare minimum: a white uniform, a sheet, socks, slippers, and a towel. Nothing more. They spend their entire days confined to 4-level bunks stacked tightly like inventory in a warehouse for hygiene purposes. Inmates are shaved every 2 weeks by staff. El Salvador once faced one of the world's highest death rates from widespread violence. At its peak, 104 out of every 100,000 people lost their lives in a single year. Previous administrations tried negotiating with these gangs, but it failed to create lasting order, while the current government's tactics remain controversial. By 2023, the rate plummeted to just 2.4 per 100,000, making El Salvador one of the safest countries on the planet. For the first time, the results so far are undeniable. Peace has returned to many neighborhoods, but what about those wrongfully imprisoned? Is this genuine justice or merely a tool to control chaos? Are we witnessing a permanent solution or a temporary measure? For now, the answer is uncertain, and the world continues to watch. Thank you for watching this documentary. See you in the next one. Don't forget to subscribe. Rui Chene was here.